There you are, printing along, everything's looking amazing, until suddenly it's not. Colors start acting weird, white ink looks rough, and every print has you scratching your head. Let's cover a couple quick maintenance tips that can hopefully get you back to printing again. The E1 is a UV resin printer, so it works differently than an inkjet, laser, or sublimation printer. Regular maintenance is part of the process, and a lot of it happens automatically. When the printer asks to inject ink, it's part of the process of protecting the print head. After injecting ink, it's a good idea to run a quick test print to make sure everything is flowing properly and printing as expected. Doing this regularly can help prevent bigger issues and save a lot of frustration later. Let's take a look. For this test, we're using a thick piece of cardstock as the test material. One important thing to check is that your test substrate is laying completely flat. If it's warped or uneven, it can create other print issues and give you inaccurate test results. Just click Test Printing and let the printer run the pattern so we can analyze the results. This test print tells us a few things. The yellow and cyan channels are missing a few rectangles, and generally anything under 5 missing rectangles is considered acceptable. The bigger concern here is the white channel. Notice how dark the white rectangles look. During a normal test print, the white will often appear slightly blue or gray. That's completely normal because the printer is only laying down a single layer of white over a black background. We'll cover that more in just a moment. After the test print, the software will ask if the result looked good. Choosing No lets you clean the individual channels that need attention. After the next test print, you may also want to try a medium clean if needed. Then simply run the test print again. Just remember, a deep clean should only be used for more severe issues since it uses a significant amount of ink and cleaning fluid. The Facebook group is a great place to get help from the Eufy-Crew. Another option you may have heard about is printing color blocks or squares. The benefit of these test prints is that they focus on a single channel at a time, helping push ink through that specific section of the print head. It can also help work out small amounts of residual cleaning fluid that may still be sitting in the channel after a cleaning cycle. Today we will focus on just white. Let's explain the term print blocks or squares. For this example, we're only going to focus on the white channel. On the left side of Eufy Studio, click on Elements, then choose a square shape. Stretch it out into a square. For this example, the black is only temporary. Now let's create some white print blocks. 1-inch squares will work fine for this test. Set the print mode to white only, and for this example, we'll use 10 layers. Again, the black rectangle is only temporary. Let's do a quick snapshot, then get ready to print. Our test blocks are now in place. The blocks are set to white-only mode at 10 layers each. By doing this, we're focusing only on the white channel and simply trying to move ink through the print head. Now I want to point out a very small detail that many users overlook. On the right-hand side of the screen, there is a small calculation labeled Object Print Height. If your paper is curled, tape is lifting, or the printer may need a camera calibration, this number can become very inaccurate and can result in ghosting or a print that looks blurred or smeared. Printing blocks really is that simple. Using 10 layers helps get the ink moving while keeping the focus on a single specific channel. Here we can see the results of our print. For our final block test, we used a piece of a EufyMake cleaning cartridge box, a great surface for this example. 4 of the blocks were printed with 5 layers of white, while the block on the far right was printed with only 3 layers. This shows how ink transparency and layering affect the final result. More layers give better coverage and a brighter print. The block on the far right is noticeably darker and likely would not produce a good final result. In this final example, we ran another test print, and it's clear the results are much cleaner. The white rectangles have returned, showing the white channel is flowing properly again. You can use this same technique for any of the color channels. Just change the block color value to the channel you want to test. You may notice that the color values are entered as RGB, even though the printer itself uses CMYK inks. The reason for this is that the software is designed around digital color selection, like computer monitors, cameras, and image files, which all use RGB color space. The software then converts those RGB color values into instructions for the printer to mix the CMYK inks needed to reproduce that color. So even though you are choosing colors in RGB, the printer is still physically printing with CMYK and white inks behind the scenes. For this test, just remember to switch your print mode to CMYK only. There's no need to print white.
Remember to always think outside the ordinary, because the ordinary is already taken.